Tonight, a by-election test for new Premier Jacinta Allen as Mulgrave voters decide on a replacement for Dan Andrews. A court grants bail to the 12-year-old girl charged over a Footscray stabbing murder. Melbourne protesters call for a ceasefire in Gaza as authorities move to black out offensive artwork on our streets. Australian Navy divers injured after being deliberately blasted with sonar in a clash with a Chinese warship. Health experts warn about a new COVID surge that's hitting Victorian aged care homes. And Pat Cummins faces his biggest test. Can he lead Australia to World Cup glory?
This is Melbourne's 9 News with Alicia Loxley.
Good evening. Jacinta Allen is facing her first electoral test as Premier, with voting booths just closed in the Mulgrave by-election. Almost a year after the state election, the safe seat held by her predecessor Daniel Andrews is up for grabs. Mimi Becker reports a strong independent in the mix means the opposition's also under scrutiny.
Premier Jacinta Allen faces the first test of her leadership.
The case will return to court next week. Loved ones continue to mourn the shooting death of Sergeant Jason Doig near the Victoria-South Australia border. As Kelly Hughes reports, his wounded partner is now out of surgery.
Major crime officers directing forensics.
A canine companion was frightened by the crowd. All right, Stephanie Anderson joins me now with the latest on our weekend weather, and there were beautiful blue skies over Melbourne today, Steph.
It has been gorgeous, Alicia, but the city still couldn't make it into the 20s. Despite all the beautiful spring sunshine, it only managed a top of 18.8, 4 degrees lower than the November average, and the 8th consecutive day we've had a subpar maximum. But that looks set to change tomorrow, and combined with light winds, our Sunday is looking good. I'll have the forecast for you later in the bulletin, Alicia.
That is good news. We will see you soon, Steph. Well, when we come back, a second tragedy in as many days rocks the police family. The son of a top cop killed in a hit run. Tech titans pull their ads from X after Elon Musk's apparent endorsement of an anti-Semitic post. And the Melbourne business helping people with a disability find their dream roles. A driver has fled the scene of an accident after causing a mess in a Ringwood street overnight.
And yeah, hopefully it sticks around for 150 more.
Stephanie Anderson, 9 News.
So good. No Danishes made it back to the office though, did they?
I know, it's really disappointing. Come on, Steph.
All right, Nat Yoannidis is back with tonight's sport.
Thanks, Alicia. Well, coming up in sport, Australia's selectors have got a big headache, and it wasn't caused by India's passionate legion of fans. Plus, how a trip to the desert could help Essendon break its finals drought. A changing of the guard as one of Australia's best jockeys runs his final race, and some very tired F1 drivers after another wild night in Vegas. Welcome back. We start with cricket, and Australian captain Pat Cummins believes silencing 130,000 screaming fans will be key to tomorrow's World Cup final against India. The Aussies preparing to make an agonising call at selection in the pursuit of a record 6th crown. Zach Bailey reports.
Australia is used to playing on the biggest...
So plenty of news happening in the Premier League, Alicia.
Yes, certainly is. Great stuff, Nat. Thank you very much for that. It is time for another check of the weather with Stephanie Anderson, and it should be a little warmer tomorrow, Steph.
We'll get another 4 degrees, Alicia, so the city should finally climb above average. Blue skies and light breezes will make it feel even better. I'll have tomorrow's forecast and the latest 7-day outlook for you next. Hello again. Melbourne was looking good today under beautiful blue skies, but it's still struggling in the temperature department, a top of 18.8. Around the suburbs, maximums generally had a 2 in front of them, and Yarra Glen was the warmest with 24. Further out, Horsham and Rutherglen had a chilly start to the day with minimums of 1 and 3, but both spots bounced back very nicely, peaking at 28 and 30. Areas south of the Ranges didn't do quite as well, with maximums in the high teens and low 20s. Troughs are triggering showers and storms through central Australia and also through parts of Queensland. Tomorrow, those troughs will merge and the showers and storms will become more widespread. They're expected to contract to the east coast on Monday and should also extend into eastern parts of Victoria. The grass pollen count will be high to extreme statewide over the coming days, increasing the risk of thunderstorm asthma. We'll keep you updated on any warnings. Tomorrow, there'll be sunny skies along the east coast, 27 in Brisbane and 26 in Sydney. Canberra and Perth will be our warmest southern capitals, heading for 31 degrees. Back home, it won't be such a chilly night through inland areas, and in fact, most spots along the Murray are forecast to stay in double figures before warming up into the low 30s tomorrow. And although it'll be slightly cooler through the south, it definitely will be an improvement on the past week, with most spots heading for the low to mid 20s. It'll be a cloudy start to the day across Melbourne, but a lovely sunny afternoon. Northern suburbs should reach 25, 27 at Coldstream and mostly 23 elsewhere. For Geelong, a low of 9 and a partly cloudy top of 22. The city's forecast to dip to 11 before warming up to 23. Back to cloudy skies on Monday and a top of 22, and there's the chance of thunderstorms in northeastern suburbs. 21 on Tuesday, and again the risk of storms. That risk should ease on Wednesday, but staying cloudy and a top of 20. We'll see blue sky again on Thursday, 22. Then we finally break the shackles on Friday with a top of 27, 25 next Saturday, and cloudy skies return. But we've got a beautiful spring day to look forward to tomorrow. After a cloudy morning and a low of 11, we'll have a sunny afternoon and a top of 23 degrees, and I'll take that any day of the week, Alicia.
Yes, thank you for bringing that to us, Steph.
You're
we
welcome.
Appreciate it. Now, before we go, some news about us. We are very excited to let you know that in 2024, my friend and colleague Tom Steinfort will be joining me to co-host the weeknight editions of 9 News. We are also very delighted to say our much-loved 9 News legend, Peter Hitchener, will continue to bring you the news on weekends. This signals a new era for 9 News, and we are all very much looking forward to being a part of it. And that is 9 News this Saturday. Deb Knight is coming up next with a current affair. I hope you have a great evening. For now, good night.